So my guest today is Cryomera. Cryo, I am so happy to have you here. Can you tell the audience about yourself?
Yeah, so I'm a traditional artist. I started in the field of graphic design, and then later I actually wanted to become a freelance artist. So how I've been doing that is I do original work in the form of pen and ink prints, and later convert those to woodblock prints when I want to reproduce them.
And your background, you kind of touched on it there. Did you go to art school? Are you just completely freelance and you just created this out of thin air? What's the background?
A little bit. So I have always had a passion for drawing, but when it was time to kind of, I guess, hunker down and go to school, I got my experience in graphic design at just a regular university, no art school there. And so I did that professionally for about 5 to 6 years. But then the company that I'd worked so long for, I got laid off from because the company started facing some financial issues. And at the time, I was kind of already feeling a little bit worn down because I felt like a lot of my creative energy was dedicated to basically making ads for companies. That when it was time to either look into new work or do it myself, I decided, with the responsibility off me, where it's not like I quit. It's like, okay, so I had no other choice. I'm out of a job right now. I decided this is the perfect time for me to really start just testing the waters and seeing if I could make art a career for myself. And so I began doing Cryomera, I guess, professionally in 2018. And from there, it evolved from just doing pen and ink to, oh, look, there's this other thing called printmaking. Maybe I can make my own prints that way. And so it just kind of kept evolving. And now it's where it's at now.
So, Cryo, your artwork is really interesting. I mean, there's a lot of detail going on here. It's really cool. I think that people, first of all, really need to go to your Instagram page to see what it's all about because it's so unique and so cool. Do you take commissions at all?
Yeah, I absolutely do take commissions. In fact, because of my previous experience, it's actually split down the middle 50-50. So it's like one part of me is doing like all these wild, and I didn't mention it before, but my art tends to be kind of dark surreal with sci-fi elements. And so like one half I'm doing tattoo commissions for people that want that or want their characters in that style. And then the other half is me just doing these like really palatable brochures for like assisted living companies and like any other company that just needs a logo really quick. But my passion's definitely in more of the creepy and sci-fi aspect of it.
I'd imagine in Artist Alley you're selling more of the creepy and sci-fi, but you never know.
Oh yeah, for sure. In fact, all I sell in Artist Alley is basically everything that I want to make. So anything with a ton of gears and like tubes like tied everywhere and like a ton of like weird explodey faces. That's my jam.
Yeah, these are really cool. Are there any other projects that you're involved with or products other than like commissions?
Yeah. So when I'm doing just my own personal work, aside from just doing commissions for people, I actually sell my work on Etsy. And so lately I've been trying to kind of clear out the more digital prints, which are basically like, I send my work to a printer, they print it out, etc. What I've been trying to do is have more of my block printing become the majority of that. And so at the moment, the way I've been making that transition is that I've been creating wood block prints to use on t-shirts. And so what I do instead of screen printing is I cut a design out of a wood block, I roll it with a ton of ink and stamp it on each shirt. So every shirt is kind of its own original piece a little bit.
Wow, that's great. So this is a little off topic. This is your dream convention. Who are you most excited to meet?
That I was thinking about that question for a while, and it's so hard to say. Honestly, I don't really know if I have an exact figure or celebrity that I'd be dying to meet. Because sometimes I find that the most interesting people to talk to are the ones that you least expect, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it totally makes sense.
I guess, as I like to say, I love to hang out with people that you get some beers with and they can rant for hours. And all you do is just listen to their interesting stories. So whoever fits that criteria, I'm game.
I'm going to say it's probably the answer would be the most interesting person in the world that's sitting next to you, right?
As I'm looking over my right shoulder, there's nobody there, but yeah, sure.
Okay. So do you ever do anything with Patreon or any type of crowdfunding?
So I've had a dormant Patreon for years, and I provided you a link, but at the moment I'm still figuring out what to do with it because right now I've decided to set it on one tier. It's just, hey, that's just $2 a month, kind of as an experiment, nothing more, nothing less. If you want to support my endeavors, that's what you can do there. But actually, of right now, one of the best ways to support me is just by watching my streams on Twitch. That's kind of a new development that I've made some time for recently. And so if you subscribe to my work, if you feel so compelled to even donate, that directly helps my art and for me to keep doing that.
So why don't we do that right now? We're gonna jump ahead a little bit because you are mentioning Twitch. We mentioned Instagram. Where can people really check out your work? Can you give some specifics? Like, do they look up Cryomera? Do they look up Cryomera art? What kind of specifically are they looking for?
That's actually the great thing is I seem to have claimed dibs for now on the username Cryomera, as that's my company name. And so if you look that up on Google, you'll find Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and all those have updates. But if you want to interact with me or if you want to chat with me on a more interactive basis, I think Twitch is the best way to go because you'll see the projects I'm creating in real time. And I try to chat to everybody that says hello in the chat room.
I'll put all the links in our show notes too, so that'll make it nice and easy for people to find you and chat with you. So with so many cons canceling and postponing, you're saying the best way to support somebody like you is like follow Twitch and buy commissions. Is there any other idea that you might have that might support artists during the pandemic here?
Other things that might support artists? You're talking about like artists in general?
Yeah, in general. People like you that are sitting in Artist Alley that now all of a sudden are sitting at home.
Yeah, I think just the best way is to make sure that you have several outlets to stay in tune with what they're working on. Some of them are doing more Kickstarter, some of them are doing pre-orders, just to make sure that that is in your feed and you're not letting the algorithms, I guess, get in the way of that, because that can be another really tricky issue, is us posting a lot and it only being sent out to a small group of people. And so just making sure it's like, if you can think of an artist that you like and really want to support, that you're getting their information and maybe even subscribe to their updates. That's one way I can think of.
So I'm going to go off topic here one more time. I know I didn't send you this question, so we're going to see what you come up with. If you had to name 3 sources that inspire your art, so this could be movies, TV, other artists, books, what would you say are 3 sources that really inspire your art?
Oh, that is so tough. I feel like there is an element of my art that is inspired by my own experience learning graphic design. As much as I don't like to do graphic design, I found that my love for just sort of composition and shapes came directly from that learning experience. In terms of like other artists that inspire me, I feel like Katsuya Terada, who's a traditional pen and ink artist, I can't help but just spend hours just gushing over his work, to be honest. And a third one, I'd have to almost think longer than that, but I feel like those are 2 things that come up. I also feel like I'm really inspired by just cinematic work. I don't have really an eye for like videography or cinematography, but sometimes when I see something that's just like played out in a movie, I kind of want to communicate. I want to be able to take the rhythm and the tension and what can be done in a scene and try to put that in a single picture.
I love that answer. All right. Cryo, thank you so much for being on. Like I said, we'll put all your information in the show notes. I hope that you get flooded with commissions and people ordering your stuff because I love it. Looking at this Instagram, I am just in love with it. So thank you so much for being on.
Yeah, thank you for interviewing me. I really appreciate it.
You can find Alley Chats on Facebook by searching for @AlleyChats. You can also visit us at our webpage, smgpods.com/AlleyChats, for links to all our episodes and other cool stuff. One easy way to support our show is to rate and review Alley Chats wherever you listen to your podcasts. Those ratings really help us out and help others find our show as well. Alley Chats is produced and edited by Rob Southgate for Southgate Media Group. Be sure to subscribe to Alley Chats because you definitely don't want to miss an episode. Thanks again to our affiliate sponsors, Hunt-A-Killer and Tweaked Audio. Links to them are on our webpage and in the show notes. This wouldn't be possible without them. Our theme song is by Benny and the No Goods. Check out their awesome music at bennyandthenogoods.bandcamp.com. If you're an artist or writer or creative type that would have a table at an artist alley and would like to be on Alley Chats, message us through the Facebook page or email us directly at southgatemediagroup@gmail.com and we'll set up an interview. Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll be back tomorrow with another fantastic show.